Hey, you! Shut the fudge up! Shut up. Shut the freak up already. Yes, I'm talking to you. When you wake up, you look up. You look up everything. Every single thing you can imagine, you look up. You look up history you didn't know about. You look up politics you didn't know about. You look up civilizations you didn't know about. And one of the most important is looking up corporations. The history of corporations, no matter how boring it is, that's something essential to understanding this world. They hide behind corporate interests. They hide behind a fictitious name. They create an identity and use it to be the hidden face of manipulation of mankind. Taking money, playing with money, making it look like it's worth more than it is, making it look like it's worth less than it is. Playing the game of money. And we're going to talk about playing the game of money. And if you've done your research, and the reason why I say shut up and look up before you actually talk out there in internet land, because when I look at something, and what pisses me off, I'm going to show you what really pisses me off, is I looked at something and it took me less than a minute to find the evidence, okay? And who we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about George Soros, okay? And yes, he's an evil man, all this and that, but he is the front man. He belongs to the Round Table Secret Society. He went to the Frankfurt, he did go, I think, to the Frankfurt School, but then he went to the London School of Economics, which is basically a NWO school, and it teaches subversion and Fabian socialism. Okay? And if you didn't understand what I said, it's because you didn't do your research. If you did do your research and understand what I'm saying, you understand Mr. Frontman Soros, still evil as hell, is only the front man. Okay? But we're going to talk about this bastard because I saw some tweets and some other things about these French protests. And I got a couple emails making fun of these yellow vests. I was like, what the hell are they talking about, the yellow vests? So I go online and I, look at the French protests. I'm like, what the hell is the deal with these yellow vests? Let's rewind a little bit. Blizzard, you're not giving me much room here. She's sitting behind me. You can't see her. But let's rewind here, okay? And I'm gonna, hopefully this is coming up. But let's start here. Let's start here. Where is it? Okay, the migrants at the border. Okay, and we kept on seeing all these orange bands, right, over these protesters, and we're like, okay, what the hell is that? What's the deal? And that means it's something that's organized. So we know George Soros likes his color revolution things, and he's done these type of things in other countries, and where they actually did, whether they're migrant invasions or just different groups subverting into another group, so they have a clash and a fight, and then it gets the people to to divide and take one side over the other. It causes division throughout society, and everybody goes along with it because why? You didn't do your research and understand why they're doing this in the first place. So anyways, all right, so we have that. We have the colored armbands, and I'm sure a lot of people have already talked about that, and you probably already understand that there's something going on with these colored armbands. We're going to bring it all together in a minute here. You just hold on 1 second, okay? So let's go back to the French protest here. Vive la France! Listen, hey, I'm a French Canadian. At least that's part of my heritage. And yeah, vive la France. Français. But, what's up with these yellow jackets? Yellow jackets. Are we talking about, bees buzzing around? Kind of in a way. They're just being busy bees buzzing around. And most would just stop there. Okay, yes. We're fighting against higher diesel prices. They use in Europe, they use more diesel than gas. And more cars run off of diesel. Diesel's actually, in some ways, can be more efficient and easier converted into biodiesel and everything else. But anyway, so let's get back here. Most people wouldn't pay attention to this, but me being Jerry, I pay attention to these things. And I noticed something. I notice this logo on these jackets on many of the pictures. All right? And not just the initials, but the logo. And I'm like, where have I seen that before? I know that company. Let me type it in. And then I realized I have a whole bunch of research already on it. But I remembered who this company is. Okay? Allianz. Okay? It's a European multinational insurance company. Not only that, it's the world's largest insurance company as of 2014. Okay? We're talking about a major company. And if you look at their history, well, U.S., Canada, all these different places, Malaysia, United States, Pakistan, Kenya, but how about this part? Nazis. It's a Nazi company. Okay? And, I'm going to get into more about this in a second here, but so let's take this back. It's a Nazi company. Whether it's true they stole insurance policies from Jewish people or not, I wasn't there. I don't know if they did. I don't know if they didn't. I don't know what they did. But what I do know is their history with a particular person. Mr. George Soros. Okay, now, I think people that have done their research already know George Soros' history with the Nazis. What he did was he worked for the Nazis, and he basically audited different people that the Nazis were going after, their belongings and their money. This is how he got introduced into how to manage money and working with these insurance companies, everything else. Is he literally worked with this corporation from the very beginning, from their Nazi days. Okay. And I'm going to back that up too. So anyways, we have this company here, this Nazi insurance company, all right? And what we're going to find here is, well, they're very close to Mr. One George Soros, okay? The interesting thing about the Open Society Foundation is their foundations work with the Open Society Foundation. Of course, everybody knows Open Society Institute is George Soros' bullshit. But anyways, let's go on from there. And what we find out is the cultural foundation for this insurance company, it does some interesting things, okay? We're going to take a look at this cultural foundation that this Allianz does. Oops, they're trying to block me. You ain't blocking me. You ain't blocking me. Translate, mofo. Translate. Projects. Escape and migration. Bing. Bang. Boom. Okay? George Soros is working with this company. Hey, let me get back to where you guys can see me here. Okay? Let's jump back over here. So anyways, hi. How you doing? Nice to be with you. George Soros, Nazi, works with this evil, money-stealing entity as a child, as a Nazi child. I mean, how does one go through life knowing that they were a Nazi kid? I mean, I don't, how? And how would a Nazi kid turn out? Well, George Soros is an example. Okay? This is why, it doesn't matter what side you take on the politics of National Socialism or, democracy or communism or republic or whatever. It doesn't make a difference when it comes to the fact that, okay, there's evil in this world and George Soros is evil. Okay? No matter which way you look at it, the game of the New World Order and building things to make it fall and the whole Masonic roots behind all of that and Jesuit roots behind all of it. Remember, if you really look at how the organization was founded, okay, the the Tectons, the high up secret societies of the Masons, founded all these different groups. Whether you want to admit it or not, they designed the church, no matter what church it is, Catholic Church, Baptist Church, Muslims. Okay. This is the secrets. Is that they subversively started it all. Whether you want to admit it or not, I don't really give a crap. We'll learn. Anyways, so what we have here is a lot of people out there, and they might think, hey, yes, this is great. The French are fighting back. You know, the first thing I notice, okay, well, all right, great. You know, the French are always great for a protest. The problem is we want it to be a legitimate protest and not like a George Soros designed bullcrap, Nazi-backed, financially Nazi-backed thing, okay? Because now, you know, so many times when you actually go back and if you research this when you first woke up and charted out all these corporations with the societies, matched up the institutes and the NGOs, you'd realize that every time you see like something like the migrant crisis or this and this, you have to question it first. And where did it come from and its legitimacy? 99% of the time, you always find it's bullshit, tied to something, either tied to our government or some. Now, there are smaller things. I think our government comes in, they put littler things on. They don't want too much stuff tying it right back to them. But when we're talking about the CIA and the New World Order, everything else, they like to do things through foundations, institutes, you know. And that's what the crazy thing about it is, not only can they get away with hiding their faces by having George Soros or a different institution as they frontmen, they get tax breaks for doing this. If you look into these societies, oh well, they're doing it for if you even read the Alans foundations, the institute, it is literally what they do is they run it through promoting artwork. And where have we seen that before? Just like the Israeli artist in the Twin Towers, you know, prior to him going boom. Yeah, I mean, so they use, whether it's art or a food bank or whatever, yeah, great, we'll give some money here so it looks like we're helping. Then we're going to take all our other money, not pay taxes on it, and then use it to subvert, you know, different parts of the world. And when it comes to, you know, George Soros, he bets on economies. If he wants an economy to crash, you know, you do something subversive so people have less trust in it. Dollar drops, he makes money, he buys back in, thing goes back up. So it's constantly mixed and matched. And when it comes to the stock market and economies, it is just a game for the elite, and they're constantly doing it. But not understanding who's behind these things and then supporting one of those things is unacceptable anymore. I don't accept it. I'm sorry, I don't accept that people who are going, oh, well, let's support the French protesters. Okay, yeah, I'd love to if they were actually having a legitimate protest. But I'm not supporting something George Soros' money is founding or you know, backing. I'm not supporting, you know, either side of the migrant crisis because, yeah, George Soros' money and these Nazi money is behind this stuff. You know, these people that are protesting or the migrants, don't they? Half the time, you know, they don't know why they're doing these things. All they do is knows that they've been involved in a group of people that convinced them to go along with the larger group, and they're going to do this activity. And next thing you know, Viva la France or Viva Migration, and they go along with it. But why do I got to support any of this crap when it's Nazi money backing it up? Nazi money is New World Order money, okay? Same thing that happened when you look at this financial institution and Deutsche Bank and all these other ones, okay? When you start following the money through France and Germany and, you know, around the world, you find out the connections with Saudi Arabia and Turkey, and you find out the New World Order money is involved in this stuff. So, yeah, when it comes to these things, the most important thing is to understand Cubano, who benefits. And it's not the migrants, it's not the protesters, it's the New World Order. It's the George Soroses. and the people that back George Soros is. It's not us. And until we get people to actually start using their brains to figure this stuff out. Because it was funny. This is this is literally how I came across it. I'm sitting there chatting with Bill. Me and Bill are chatting. Bing, bang, boom. We're chatting. I go, Bill, you notice anything weird about these French protesters? They're all wearing these stupid jackets. I look at it. I go, oh, shit. Look at that logo. Okay, so I look up the logo. Realize I've already looked up this corporation before. So I said, okay. You know what? And Bill says, you know what? I bet that's George Soros. And I said, I don't remember. Let me Google his name with this corporation. Boom. 30 seconds. The problem in this world is we have a population of people that won't take 30 seconds to understand what they're believing, what they're looking at, and understanding the whole picture. What they're understanding is, hey, they're putting this picture in my face. I got to take this side. I got to take that side. Without understanding what created that picture for you in the first place and who is, benefiting from you taking one of those sides. They don't hide anything. And that's the thing me and Bill have just gone over so many times. When you get to the point where you've researched this stuff, and I'm talking with Bill, we can look at each other and say, yeah, George Soros. And that's a complete understanding. In our world, we can accept that as, well, that's all we need to know is we need to understand what's going on. Most likely George Soros thing. Boom, George Soros. I'll accept that. But I like to back things up. So, only taking 30 seconds, and this is not the only time, this happens all the time. Every time it only takes 30, 40 seconds, a minute, to look what's behind these things. But people refuse to stroke those keys. Bing, bang, boom. It's really not hard, right? I'm not a genius. I was one of those kids in college. I never even bought a book, okay? Of course, that's probably why I didn't finish college. But anyways, I'm not the studying type. But when I woke up, I realized there was something wrong in this world. Something wasn't right, and I needed to know what was wrong. So I started looking things up. I started studying. So if somebody like me, that when it comes down to it, doesn't have the world's best education, can learn so easily what's going on, and me understanding I don't have the world's best education, that I'm not the world's best reader or writer, I make a lot of spelling mistakes, all that. It's frustrating to know there's people out there that even work for our government that are still going along with these stories and these psyops. It's frustrating when there's people out there that have great educations and they can't figure this stuff out. It's saddening. And I don't mean to scream, because most of the people that are watching me, I think we're on one of those things. You're already one of those people that are looking things up. Not all of you that are watching me, that I know, but it's frustrating. I think me talking even to you that already understand and have done their research helps me vent at my frustration at these idiots, at these sheeple. Because it really is so simple to figure this stuff out. These people leave you the breadcrumbs. They're begging you to say, hey, look, you caught us. We even showed you how to catch us. Look, here, ha. These people don't hide anything. And like Bill said in the past, and like Bill Cooper said, and many people have said, they're going to tell you what they're going to do to you. They're going to do it to you, and you're going to do nothing about it. And that bothers me. It bothers me that all those people that have said that in the past are correct. Because I want to do something about it. But we can't even get educated people to think for more than 30 seconds of an image. They're trapped in the box. They're trapped into this box of only perceiving what they're told to perceive instead of using a logical mind. Because let me tell you something, it really is true that these people don't hide anything. Everybody says, well, they're holding all the secret knowledge. No, it's right in front of your face. You just got to freaking figure out how to understand it. And the first step is learning who the hell these people are instead of listening to stupid morons like Q, David Icke, Alex Jones, Jason Goodman. All these morons out there that they're playing with little tricks, mind tricks, Masonic mind tricks to keep your mind following a bouncing ball instead of being able to use it in a logical sense. And until you understand that these people are out there to deceive you, you are not going to start to understand what's really going on here. Doesn't matter how many times I tell you. It's going to take me saying it 1,000 times for a majority of people to even start to understand. That's the interesting thing about the evolution of the mind. There's going to be people out there that could be sitting right next to each other, but at different levels of understanding, that are going to be able to pull and absorb what I'm saying at different times, and other people won't even context what I'm saying as I'm saying it until they get to the level that their neighbor there is on. So hopefully I added enough grammar so that multiple levels had a little bit of understanding today. Anyways, that was my rant on Mr. George Soros. Not the worst part. What is it? 136 Katana Avenue Road in Canatoa Road in Katana, New York. George Soros' address. Not even hard to find. Not even hard to find. The FBI either has to be extremely stupid, which I highly doubt they are, because, listen, don't they have to have a good education and degree and all that stuff? Speak languages to join them? Or very evil people that think this is okay for people like Soros, even though he's just a front man, to do these subversive activities? What it comes down to it is every member of our intelligence services, every member of the FBI has sold out every one of you. And to me, that's freaking scary, and it's bothersome. Till next time.